Hey y'all, I will be in shortly. It's giving people time to pop into the chat. Since this is a last minute chat that I chose to do it last minute. So yeah, I'm here just waiting for some people to pop in. We're gonna talk about a few things and then this chit chat about all the foolishness that has gone on recently. So give me about less than 5 minutes, y'all. But I'm here. Okay. I am here. Okay. I can't talk to y'all. But no. Okay. Yes, please hit the like button. Everybody, do not forget to hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section if y'all can clearly hear me. Okay, I want to make sure that my volume is okay because sometimes y'all know on StreamYard it can be funny. Get my phones together. I know there's always a delay in my comment section. I think I just ordered some shampoo. Did I just order some shampoo? Yes, I did. Just order some shampoo from Pat and Beauty, but that's fine. We're gonna leave that be. Anyway, so a lot has went on today. A whole lot has went on today, and I don't think anybody expected any of it at all. Okay, volume is good. Y'all can hear me. Okay. So what time is it? 10:17. Okay, I'm gonna give people like 2 more minutes to pop into the chat before I come on the screen because again, I just like to give people time to pop in because y'all know I'll be late sometimes. I can't expect other people not to be late. But who is all here? Latoya King, glad I'm going to put the live. Thank you. Lakeisha Griffin, PJC Parks, uh is it Aisha? Girl, y'all not gonna know the names, but Miss Stockton and everything. Okay, hey Jasmine, Lynn G, hey Diva, China Jones, Spakina, I think that's what it is. Hey Ranting with Ricardo, Danielle, hey JJ, uh Nick, is it Nick Coco? But best friend in my head. Yeah, we're gonna be up here today. Hey, it's me, everyone. Oh, duh. Um, so yeah, I just want to pop in and say hello. I'm trying to get everybody, but I can't stay too long. But I hope everybody's having a great, great day in their head, in their body, in their soul, and they this whatever it's gonna be. Um, see, I'm here. Okay, so hey, Oracle, Shannon. I always say Shannon like that. Shannon. I don't know why I say her name so loud, but hey, girl. Hey, Valen. I know Valen right there too. So a lot has happened today. I don't plan to be on here too long because again, I just got home from work. I got to still do sisters and Married to Millions. Was it Married Millions? Married at First Sight, and then what's come on? It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. However, today I was like, what's going on? It was so much going on social media. It was so much going on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. I was like, look, Jesus, I need a break. Okay. The first thing we will properly address for today. I got my little banners and everything. And I got that done. Where's the picture I wanted to put up? Boom, here we go. So today, the reason I came on was initially to talk about T.I. and them, and like as initially, right when I posted, I was gonna be laughing at that foolishness. We got the sad news that Cicely Tyson, okay, who we know is absolutely amazing and an icon, passed away today. She was 96 years old. And I always feel like, thank you, April B. Oh, you new subscriber, new subscriber. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But with Cicely, she was 96 years old. And when I first heard the news, I was like, I thought the person who told me, I'm like, who told you that? Like, that's not true. And I was like, oh my God, it actually happened. She was literally a living legend. I don't think anyone can negate the impact that she has had on the world within, just movies and just the world itself, within the acting world, the activism world, and everything else. She was an amazing person. I think her spirit will forever live on. I feel like when people pass away in their late like 96 is an absolute blessing to me. I am never upset when someone literally lives a long life and they have reached their purpose and they have left footprints that will, carry on long after they are gone. That is always amazing to me. So I don't want anyone to be sad that she passed away, because again, she was 96 years old. And at some point we all want to rest easy, I'm saying, rest in peace and everything. And I'm happy that she is able to do that. I am happy that she's left us with movies and interviews and different characters that she has played over the years that we can love forever and ever. And our kids can also see that. But again, she was 96. We don't know how he passed away. I'm gonna say natural causes again, because at 96, however you go, it's okay. You have lived a life that was amazing to us all. I've seen Oprah talk about it. I've seen Tyler Perry talk about it. I've seen many celebrities come through and give their 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cents about how she directly impacted their life with her wisdom and her grace and her mercy of how great a person she was. So I have never heard anyone ever say anything negative about Miss Cicely Tyson ever, 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 ever. And I think that's a blessing within itself. I always love it when we have our people who pass away, but they pass away with no scandal. They pass away with all loving and kind words. I feel like that would be Miss Cicely Tyson. She worked, my whole life, at least my whole adult life. I remember her always being consistently on point and working, in different fields, whether it was TV, music, not music, girl, TV, movies, TV shows. She played Annalise Keating's mom. She's been in countless Tyler Perry productions. And I feel like, it's sad that she's gone, but again, she died at 96. We have to allow people to leave this earth, at a point in time where we are like, okay, let them continue on their life and let that be that. And we are not upset as if, I would never say gone too soon. She was 96. Okay. So let's give her, and we gave her flowers while she was here. I love that. Tyler Perry was brought up how he was watching one of her, I think a movie. He said a feeling came over him to watch one of her movies. And he said that maybe 20 minutes later, after watching it, Oprah called him and gave him the news that she had passed away. And of course, he was devastated, honey. As he said, he said she was like a grandmother to me. And I do want to wish, peace, love, and blessings to the people close to her who are feeling this loss more than I may have been feeling this loss. But again, I am very, very happy. She 96. Okay, so we have lost so many people in their teens, in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s. And I never feel bad when someone passes away in their 90s. My grandfather lives, on my mama's side, lived to be 93. And while losing him was definitely, hard, I was like, Granddaddy was 93. Like, Granddaddy lived. Okay, so I mean, we're going to say, two pieces up to Miss Cicely, because again, she lived a life worth living. Okay, because she lived a long life and she had a good time. Okay, was a snazzy dresser and all that. But again, I think that was amazing, amazing, amazing. So I wanted to first, get that out the way so that we can, show, because I did not want to come live knowing that had happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I don't want to be sad and anything. Okay. So the next topic of conversation, okay, Wendy Williams, girls and men, because I know y'all both in here, said that she had a whole one night stand with Method Man. Okay, now Wendy Williams was doing a interview with her DJ Sucks One, the dude who was not her DJ on her TV show now, and she was talking about a night back in the day. They was all at a party. They weren't together, but they was all at a party and everything, and how a fight broke out. People was shooting or what. It was a whole melee of things happening, and at that point in time, her and Method Man was in the same area at this party or whatever. And then she was kind of like, oh, hey, Method Man or whatever. He said, hey, Wendy or whatever. And they kind of left together on the whole slide, went back to her penthouse. And again, this is years ago. She reads about what happened, and they went back to her penthouse, and they were smoking. She did admit that those are her cocaine days, and he wasn't doing cocaine, but he was doing weed or whatever. And how one thing led to another, and her and him had a whole one night stand. And she said she feels as if that may be another reason he was so upset with her when she leaked the information that his wife at the time had cancer, because Method Man has notoriously been pissed at Wendy ever since she released the fact that supposedly, not supposedly, but his wife had cancer. It was before they were announcing the news of that, and so he's been pissed at her since then. So I feel like her coming up now and saying oh yeah, me and him had a one night thing. I'm looking like, what? Really? I don't believe it. not my Method Man, not my fine ass. You know what? I don't know if I don't believe it or if I do believe it. I feel like back in the day, we would be surprised over who was doing what. You can't think of Wendy today. She not talking about Wendy today. Wendy on the radio, Wendy back then, Method Man back then. We have to remember Method Man today, the sexy, amazing, debonair man he is. That wasn't who he was back in the reckless ass days. The Wu-Tang Clan was reckless in these streets. Okay, you have to remember that. I don't judge folks based on who they are now when they are speaking of things that happened in the late 80s, early 90s, because again, that time was wild. Okay, for me, the 2000s was wild for me. Okay, so I can only imagine how wild the time was in the late 80s, early 90s. They had Freaknik back. Remember Freaknik? You had to think about what happened back then. So I'm not putting anything past anybody. Could have happened, especially in the 90s. People was wild. People was wild and free. Okay, absolutely. Okay. Remember when Method Man cussed me out? I would have never thought they said, you know what? The reason I feel like it could have happened, that could be a reason he was so pissed. Because we had, a connection at one point in time. We did some things with that. Why would you out my wife? Wendy laughed so much. Wendy is a lot of things. Extra, petty, messy, but usually she don't lie, not much or whatever. But again, we don't know. All I know is she said what she said. I don't know. I don't put nothing past nobody, especially if it's a coochie they going. That's usually what happened. It really does happen. Oh, that's something different. Because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I be trying to focus on my thing right here. If y'all have stuff to say to me that's not what I'm talking about, DM, email, that's not for here. Oh wait, that's not it. Where did I just see somebody's comment? Oh, Method Man has swag. He absolutely has swag. Freaknik was a whole time of people out here doing all kind of things, all open with it. Okay, I don't put nothing past nobody. Okay, seeing is believing. I'm not believing in something I've never seen. And why would I follow the rules for afterlife That isn't granted. I don't know what that do anything. I don't know what that is either. Anyway, Superhead was Patty, pretty engaged. Superhead. Wendy has been a moose. What does look? Y'all, some people don't like Wendy for things she has going on. Now, I completely get that or whatever. However, I'm not gonna act like people may not like her. Like people really want to act as if, oh, who wants Wendy? People wanted Wendy. Wendy was popular for a reason. People want her now, okay, for whatever reason it is. But I don't think Method Man is so amazing. He may not have fucked Wendy. Okay, we not gonna do that now. We not gonna do that or whatever. Anyway, so she's also doing all this press because her movie comes out Saturday. I will be watching. I will be reviewing it or whatever. I'm gonna do both. I feel like it's gonna be a good movie and also a good documentary. So I don't. Wendy has no reason to lie about this little stuff. Her saying she fucked Method doesn't help or hinder whatever's going on or whatever. Say what you want, but Wendy's very charming. I can see it. If you did not listen to her when she was on the radio and she was more messy but also friendly, it was a reason that people would always come to her show. So this is what it is. This had to be a scheme. This had to be a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the bullshit. I'm not, I don't know. It is what it is. Freak Nick was definitely a thing back in the day. It was. And if you could only imagine the things these rappers, think about why so many rappers have 18,000 kids, that we don't know about or that we do know about or whatever. And they were just fucking people. Okay, just fucking people. And again, Method Man today is not who he was back in the day. Method Man was we did not start paying attention to Method Man until You're All I Need came out. That's when it was like, wait a minute, he looks real cute all of a sudden. Method Man was different in the beginning of his career. So we can't act as if, you know what I'm saying, who he is today is who she fucked back then. Or even who she is today is who he fucked back then. Okay, we're gonna leave that be. Right, Arthur was there have always been rumors about her and Charlamagne. I'm gonna leave that be. It could be a possibility. I've been loving our recent interviews. It makes me like her. I think Wendy has got to a point of her letting go of the bullshit and being honest about whatever it is she's went through. The fact that in her movie she is saying how she's showing that she was addicted to drugs. She's showing that she knew about Kevin. Like she's being very, 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 very honest. That's how I'm like, I don't think she don't have a reason to lie now. That would have been something to say back in the day that I fucked him back then. But I think her saying now was like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, this is what it is. But again, we're going to move on past that, okay? The next topic of conversation that we have, Trey Songz, who was arrested at a football game. Was it this week? It had to be a couple days ago. I don't know what's wrong with Trey Songz and why he been so extra. We know about it on some bullshit here and there. I sometimes feel like, he either is trying to just be reluctant to follow the rules or he may just don't give a fuck. He was at the football game. And the rumor or the speculation with the police say is that he was there. He was not wearing a mask. That the police or security of the football field or whatever had came up to him 2 or 3 different times. There's also the footage from security cameras showing them going up to him like, hey man, put your mask on, put your mask on. And allegedly the rules of anyone there, you have to wear a mask. And because they had went up to him a couple of times to put it on, and the last time the person went was when the whole headlock situation happened. Now, seeing the video of him holding that cop in the headlock was very, very funny because it reminds me of like 2 drunk uncles at like Thanksgiving dinner, fighting over the last beer. It's just weird or whatever. And I'm like, what is going on here? He's just out there. I'm glad he did not get killed. When I was watching the video, I promise you, I was like, Please don't die. Just please don't shoot. Don't. I was worried. I'm like, because what if somebody else walked up and start shooting, or with a cop he had in the headlock, just put his gun out, and you know what I'm saying? Anything could have happened. Like anything could have happened from that situation. But luckily it did not. Okay, and uh. KCPD be on the bullshit, and I'm from Kansas City, and I don't fool with them. I was just worried that he would just, get shot or get choked out. I was very happy to know he was arrested, easily, no one was hurt. I was relieved and okay, they just arrested him and he got out. It wasn't a taser, a chokehold, anything else like that. I'm happy that he, kind of let that go. Well, not he let it go, but the people let it go and did not do more harm than that. Hold on, y'all. But seeing the footage and just seeing the cops come over to ask him to put it on or whatever, I'm like, why didn't you just put it on? Trey has been actively on some bullshit, even him doing different concerts or whatever, going to different parties or whatever. I feel like what's going on, alcohol and arrogance is the great definition of what could have happened that day. So he was being a Karen. That is funny. Trey is a mess. He had COVID last year. It was at a club. Now he didn't want to wear a mask. Very, very true. And this is my thing. I feel like if you do not want to wear a mask, that's your choice. But don't do that shit around other people. And this is all alleged. This is all like what the police said and some people around him said. Now, even though they're saying the reason for the police coming over because of the mask, the people around him still said the third cop who came a third time was still being extra aggressive and just an asshole about it or whatever. But, and that is why during the recording, you hear people saying like, oh no, let him go, whatever. Because they're saying that particular cop who came over was being, extra. That cop attacked him so necessarily, so he tackled him like he knew he had a weapon or something. I'm going to say yes and no. This is the reason. This is the only reason I'm trying to see two sides. It's not as if that one cop walked up that one time and that was it. Only because the footage shows the cops, not that one cop, but other cops or whoever security had to come over more than once. That third time, they was probably aggravated with him. And that is probably the reason. But I feel like we can't be like, oh, well, the cop shouldn't have been aggressive. Trey should have kept his fucking mask on. I think if Trey would have kept his mask on, the cop would not have had to come over. But we do see a whole tussle with that ensues. So again, that part did happen. But I'm like, yeah, but Trey kept taking his mask off. And even though you're at an outside event, you're still around other people. The wind blowing, okay, a sneeze could happen, and the whole goddamn place has COVID. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Just because black people hold a grievance towards whites? I'm not even gonna go there, honey. We got time for all that. This is not the channel. Wearing the mask has people going crazy. Yeah, and I really don't know why. It holds such a big thing with them for that. I don't think it's a point in being outside at a public event with other people and wanting to not wear one if that's the rule where you went. Okay, we know that these stadiums and these event spaces are having strict rules on what they're willing to do in order to hold events. If they have to be like, you know what, you have to wear a mask, then wear a mask, or just don't come. Watch it from home. Okay. What? I don't want to cuss nobody out today. I don't. I really don't. Whoever that person was that asked a question about if black people, whatever, if we held grudges, that ain't my ministry, okay? If you looking to have a black-white issue conversation, that's not what we're here for, honey. Go ahead and leave that be, because we ain't doing that here. Anyway, so yeah, because I'm like, because you know what? Let's entertain, okay? Do black people hold a grievance towards whites? Like, do you guys dislike us or like for me? I can't understand how anyone can be racist. I don't understand. Well, you know what? Ask all the racist white folk. Okay, look, don't come to me as a black woman to make you understand what your people, your race of folks do. Okay, so that's not my ministry. That's what I mean. You cannot come here asking me what you should do or how you don't know something. If you don't know, ask your white friends, your white bosses, your white family members. You can't tell me as a white person, you don't know nobody who's been racist at all. That ain't your ministry. You don't know. I don't believe you because again, it's everywhere. Okay, so please do not come here looking for me, asking me a dumbass question if black people hold a grievance towards whites. I don't know. Let's see. Slavery, racism, bigotry, just all the bullshit y'all put us through. And by y'all, I don't mean you, but you have to be a fucking fool to believe or ask yourself, do we really hold a grievance against whites? Yes. You want to know why? Because every fucking day, someone who looks like you, who has the skin tone that you may have, can be an asshole. You may not be an asshole, but some of y'all are complete assholes. Do we dislike you? Some of y'all, yes. Some of y'all, we can't stand y'all. Is that what you wanted? Does that answer your question? Okay, as I told you, that ain't my channel. That ain't my ministry. It's not my judge. Okay, that ain't what I'm here for. But you wanted it, you have it. Okay, now we're gonna move on from that, and I will probably hide you eventually. Anyway, back to normal. I don't care if you was not trying to be an asshole. This ain't where you come for that information. Okay, this ain't your question. Has shit to do with what I was talking about. Okay. That is called you using your white privilege to get fucking attention from me. Oh my God. I just want to know why there's no white people here. How do you know there are no white people? You know what? Nope. Jesus would not block using because it ain't no white people in here. How the fuck do you know it ain't no white folk in here? How do you know that? It's all because see, that is the definition of girl. You walked into some bullshit, into some complete bullshit. Okay. We're gonna move on from that. Because I was like, wait. Girl, the fuck bye. Ain't no white people in here. How do you know ain't no white folk in here? You can't see nobody. Okay, what is wrong with this girl? Anyway, look. Bye, Felicia. Anyway, back to Trey Songz. Okay, he was arrested. He was held for less than a day. He was released on his own recognizance, I think, or he may have had bail. I'm not sure. But the point is, we as black folk, or this folk who want to be out at sporting events, we cannot be out here just not wearing masks. And then if the police or security come over, we can't just say, you know what? All right, and then continue to not wear masks because that's not going to work. Okay, they can then come back. I'm actually purple. They will come back, and then what ends up happening is you get arrested. You then put a white cop in a headlock, and it's all over the news. And then we're like, you know what is Trey doing? Trey was on some bullshit all up and through. Yes, Romeo said on purple, baby, crack up laughing. You know what I'm saying? Look, y'all know I am a peaceful person. You know what I'm saying? I don't cause no bullshit, whether I stay in my lane. And for the most part, anyone who is, a JayBird or whatever, y'all know I don't get into all of that. Okay. I don't get into all that, but I never want anyone to feel as if I am trying to, avoid them or not talk to them because they may be white. I don't know if anybody on here is black, white, or I don't even ask someone, what is your race when I am talking to or engaged with anybody. So no one should think being on my channel that, she don't have white folks. I'm looking like, what? Girl. Anyway, oh yeah. We should have asked them why that white NFL player took out the black. You know what I'm saying? Look, I heard about that. I don't know the guy's name. Him. If you know the dude name, because I think him was watching. If you know the white dude name, can you send it to me? You got to be, you know what I'm saying? I got everyone, so I got to get you together. I'm very nice. Y'all know I'm very nice. But rarely I have to come about my hood, you know what I'm saying? You know, so you know, I try not to, do that too often. But y'all have seen me go off a time or two. Okay. But the the NFL player who I think played for whatever team Sierra and played for, it's the Seahawks. I believe it's the Seahawks. And the picture of the girlfriend that he allegedly, not allegedly, that he is, that he did, yes, Chad Wheeler is his name. Okay, thank you. Chad Wheeler is his name, and his girlfriend. I don't know if her name will pop up quick enough, but he is charged with first-degree domestic violence assault and domestic violence unlawful imprisonment after he attacked his girlfriend over the weekend. He choked her out, and the picture of her before, and the picture of her, with her injuries. I'm looking like, how did none of this make the news? It was a big issue because this happened. He was arrested. So she had to be treated for injuries, but no one from the NFL, from his team, like no one had kind of picked up the story, even though it was actively out there. It's because, in my opinion, sometimes these Caucasian, people who are in the industry, they're not so quick to release their damaging information. So we were upset because this has happened and no one is talking about it, okay? He literally choked her out and was upset because allegedly she would not bow down to him. I believe she also had a broken arm. Now he was released from his contract with the Seattle Seahawks, I guess, the Seattle Seahawks, today, this week or whatever. And it's happened on. He attacked, strangled the victim in bedroom on the 22nd. He literally beat her to unconsciousness twice and left her both times for dead. Okay, left her for dead. Okay, and that's the thing. Had that been any African American, Latino, any person of color, any person that is a minority, it would have been plastered all over the news every day, all day. And it would have been big news. And this was such a quiet story, even though her entries were horrendous. Okay, so when people say, "Oh, why?" That's why, because of the unfairity. Is that a word? If it ain't, I made it one. Because of the unfairness, or the discrepancy between how things are reported when we do stuff and how it's reported when white folk do stuff. Okay, and that's just what it is. Okay, that's just what it is. We're experienced. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Now I'm happy he was arrested. I'm happy he got fired, and I'm hoping. Okay, I'm hoping that she don't go back. Okay, I feel like, and I mean that not because he happens to be a white man and she happens to be a black woman. I mean that because so many times the women go back. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of girl, crazy. My family would have been the story. They would have sat around in a circle, kicking his ass all up and through, all up. Look, it would have been going down round here, okay, round here. But again, that's just an example of white person do something. It's like tap on the wrist. We're not gonna talk about it or nothing. But again, had that been any OJ, Ray Rice, Timberland and Swiss Beats, hell, if Michael, whoever it could have been, it would have been a whole. We've seen people do things that are black people in the NFL or NBA or MLB or whatever, and it is instant. They not even arrested yet. They just it's an accusation of some shit, and it's all over the news. Okay, but this white man literally did it. Okay, left her for dead twice. Okay, it happened on Monday. It did not become news until Wednesday-ish, Thursday-ish, because again, black folk were like, why that's not news? What's going on? Okay, what's happening? And even the Seahawks, who did not release a statement until I believe yesterday, it's like, what's going on? why he not fired? Okay, it's just messy. I'm sick. It's sickening how some, not all, black men were commenting saying this. That's really, they were saying that we're not gonna. Let them be that. No, you have not missed Ti. I'm saving Ti for last. Okay. I want to discuss this a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. Erica Campbell, who is half of Mary, okay, has made a comment and she posted it on her, I believe, either her IG or her Twitter, okay, and she has said, where is it at? I'm gonna add in so y'all can see what she has said because she said it, and I'm like, girl, what is going on here? Boom. So what she had to say on here was, hey, preachers and pastors, okay, you think, no, you should rethink liking the pictures of ladies in sexy bikinis, especially when you're married. Even when the caption is deep and spiritual, you shouldn't double tap. I'm just saying. Now, as we know, she is a married woman. Her husband is Warren Campbell, who have in the past been unfaithful to her. Now, she's always been the person to say how much she's happy her husband has grown and blah, 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 blah. But I feel like at what point do you feel like these rules strictly for, is it, because like, are preachers and pastors not allowed to like people? Can they not like a picture? You know, is that not allowed in the Bible? It's just weird for me that she wants to put this rule on the pastors and the preachers. I feel like it's nothing wrong. It's just a post. I think, I'm pretty sure that pastors and preachers also, watch porn or whatever. I just feel like there's other things that they do. But why are we making it seem as if they can't do this? I feel like if you are a married man, even if you are involved, I don't really care if, you like someone's post on social. I'm like, well, who cares? Who cares? It's a post. It's a post. And I do feel like, men and women should be allowed to be men. If I see a sexy man, a nice looking man, I may, double tap. And I don't care if my dude does either. I'm like, why would like what's the point of caring for? Like, it's not as if unless look, you can't be double tapping the same girl all the time. Now that may be a code. I'm just playing. But yeah, I don't think that you should tell pastors and preachers to not double tap on a sexy post simply because it's a sexy post. That's not in the Bible. Who does that? What's the point of that? It's crazy when you're judging people for liking something. It's a problem when you're leaving comments in the DMs. I agree, we're human. She's projecting her issues with her philandering hubby on. Look, I feel like there's nothing wrong with liking the post. Now she said you should not DM, you should not message, you should not even comment. Don't comment on they shit. You better double tap. And that's it. I'm saying, don't comment, no emojis. I would say no. I would be okay if she said like y'all should not be commenting and googly eyed. I would get that part, but I don't think there's anything wrong with a man liking somebody's picture. She should set the rule for her own husband, not everybody else. She needs to simply handle her own. Stop preaching. Right? I'll tell you. And she has said something before about things that people should not do. But I'm like, I don't know. I know preachers definitely watch porn. One of the preachers of the church I used to go to admitted that he watched porn in a sermon. Really? Okay, I guess he was preaching about porn. My auntie feel like some people shouldn't post, but she can say how she feels. I agree. Anyone should be allowed to say how they feel about things. But when you then post and tell other folks what they should not be doing, that, she should have said, my husband can't like female sexy photos. Because my thing is, so that means if a lady is in the robe, wrapped all up in a sweater, in a coat, in a hood, in a hat, and her whole body's covered. Okay, if she's fully covered, go ahead and like all her stuff. Even though in her DMs, she's a freak. She's a freak. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should judge the women based on them dressing scantily clad versus, because she didn't say that. Oh, she did not say like if they are fully clothed, if they're like in a swimsuit or in something sexy, don't. I'm like, wow, that's not nice. That's not fair. For what? Okay. Preachers and pastors maybe like Instagram thought pics is different because they are in charge of church folks. Look, being a preacher or a pastor, you do have to carry yourself in a different way. However, I don't think them liking a post of someone dressed cute should be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so question. Can the pastor like Michelle Obama's inauguration pic? Because Michelle Obama was fully clothed, but she looked good. Okay, she looked good. If they like her post, is that inappropriate? If they like, Madam Vice President, is that inappropriate? What is inappropriate? What about it is inappropriate? Her husband maybe I don't know. I agree. Have an opinion, but you can't tell people what to like. Who cares? Just don't cross the line if you are married. So some is saying, well, y'all say yes is wait. So they can like the picture or they can't like the picture. Which one? To Shannon, I don't know. I wouldn't man. I don't care what pictures it do. Like I don't care. Like what I'm saying. Like a pic, watch porn. I don't care. Like you should not care as long as that man is coming home and being faithful to you. Okay, sometimes them liking that post of them getting out their little urges without cheating on you. Yes, they can like Michelle Obama's post. I don't think it's an issue. It's a post you like. It's not, it's not a whole thing. Like it ain't a big deal. It ain't that big deal to me. I would not care. Now, if she have naked and you can see a nipple, okay, and they like the post, they comment a little bit, and then they DM nice photo. That's an issue for me. That's an issue for me. But I mean, other than that, even don't be commenting on Michelle Obama either, because I mean, she looked good in that thing. Because that seemed too much. But again, I think people should have to learn. You can't always have your own opinion, but you don't want to tell people what they should or should not do, especially when your husband has been known to have a few issues. You know what I'm saying? Advise your husband what not to do. Not everybody else, okay? And then the grand resistance, okay? T.I. and Tiny. Oh, Lord Jesus. I was at work, minding my own business. I was not bothering nobody at all, okay? And then all of a sudden, all this news about what T.I. and his wife be doing with people or whatever. I'm like, what is going on here? Okay. Now, a couple different things had happened. I'm gonna try to pull up the Jasmine brand because the dad had it on it too. The girl who used to be friends with Tiny, okay, she was first. I'm gonna look for the story so y'all can't see, so I can look real quick. The girl who was friends with Tiny was the first one to say, her name Sabrina Peterson. Okay, she was the first one to bring up something. She was saying how allegedly, okay, and this is all alleged, okay, this is all per the Jasmine brand. This is per Sabrina Peterson's IG and her comments or whatever. This is all stuff that she said, and I'm like, what girl, what happened? Now, she first came out, so I'm trying to prove the picture. She first came out and she was saying how years ago that T.I. had put a gun to her head, and at that point in time it was because he was supposedly cheating or messing around on Tiny or whatever. This is Sabrina. That's her with the braids, and of course it's T.I. and Tiny. But she was saying how T.I. was out here doing honey being T.I., being extra, whatever, and she accused him of putting a gun to her head based on her trying to fight an assistant in defense of Tiny. Okay, that happened supposedly years ago, and then she was on him about that. Now Tiny then came out like, "Oh, you lying? Like you're saying how T.I. is such a horrible person, even though just last year or 2 years ago, you had them posting pictures with your sons, called him Uncle Tip. Okay, so it made it seem as if, oh, is Sabrina lying about how bad a person he was back in the day if she was, praising him or being nice to him just 2 years ago. And it went from there to Tiny, like, you doing this for clout. I'm saying you can. Tiny said all clout and good clout, especially when it's revealed you're looking for clout. Okay. And Sabrina popped back and then said all coke and good coke, especially when it have you out here looking for coke. I was like, oh Lord Jesus, not the cocaine stuff. Now, none of this stuff I believe is current. None of this stuff is things that we heard about recently, basically, or whatever. But it went from that conversation to other people then saying that T.I. and Tiny were having these threesomes and these sexual orgies, basically, with multiple women that they were picking up and picking off and fucking or whatever, giving them drugs. Like, it was a whole sex den, a Bill Cosby mixed with an R. Kelly situation. Now, none of the women were supposedly underage at all, but the girls who were women who had been contacting Sabrina were all at least 18. Okay, and it's all stuff from like years ago, not now. But again, they were legal. But the girls were saying that T.I. and or Tiny was giving them drugs and, coercing them to do drugs. One girl brought up how she saw T.I., abusing Tiny. And it was just like just a mass of information on that. Now, this is the kicker, okay? Was trolls in here? I can't even see him, honey. But Shekinah. Y'all know Shekinah is Tiny's home girl. Okay, home girl around here. She then went on her IG and she was like, well, yeah, that's what happens. But Sabrina didn't want to admit how she was out here banging T.I. too. Why don't she want to admit that she was also the one who was recruiting girl? So even though T.I. and Tiny had not said shit, they had not confirmed nothing. Okay, not nothing. It was Shekinah who basically confirmed what Sabrina said to be true, because when Shekinah then said that Sabrina also had already fucked T.I. and Tiny, okay, and that she was upset because she's obsessed with Tiny. She was obsessed with Tiny, she can't have her. And I was like, what? She said, do I have the audio? Wait a minute, let me see. Because she was talking on her live. See, people be so quick to go on their lives and then they will, say what they say, but then they will forget to know that it's going to come out. Like, it's going to come out. Let me see.
Chip pulled the gun on her, right? How do we change from Chip not the victim no more? Chip is the victim and Tiny now is the legend. How do we go from that? So she done got mad at Tamika for taking her husband. He got the whole goddamn thing. She has a problem. She ain't talked about nothing about how she Tamika until I said what I said. Why she ain't talking about how she done stuck? So why we ain't talking about that? Let's get into it. Yeah, y'all want to talk about? Let's get into it. I'm trying to figure out why she ain't told y'all how much she ain't. Why she ain't told y'all about she one of the women who used to go recruit the. What's up? Hey.
So
it
was Shekinah the one saying that this happened. Right now. So it's like, girl, you had basically snitched on your friend. Okay, it's like you cannot do that. You cannot be the one that know the drama of the drama and then want to talk about it. Okay, and I think the kicker or the gotcha is she was also fucking T.I. and Tiny. She was the one helping them bringing a girl. So again, you're not making it sound any better for T.I. or Tiny. I don't think anyone is surprised at all. And I've seen different comments or whatever, but we have known over the years that T.I. and Tiny have a different kind of life. Okay, they have lived and done things and been things and did whatever to a whole different degree. I think the difference is they have never, or the girls have never came out and said what happened. One girl was like, she kind of felt like she was being kidnapped because she couldn't leave. it's getting messy. Okay, it's getting really, really messy. And this is why they always say, if you're going to be married and you're going to have threesomes, you have to have them sign an NDA. Let me see if I can find the girls' notes that she was talking about, because the girls were going on Sabrina's IG and they were telling her about their experience with him over the past maybe 10 or 15 years. And again, it's multiple women who are alleging that this happened. Okay. The only person's face we have seen is Sabrina. We've seen other people come out and post they have been through things with T.I. and Tiny, and how they're like, they gave us a pill and say, you either take this pill, you can't leave. Or after they had already took a pill and got high, that they would then give them more and more drugs where they could not do this or do that. One girl brought up how she saw a girl being carried out because she could not walk because she was so high. It's just a mess. It's a mess. And you have to always, Candy said people, Candy was smart to have people she do them with, to have them sign an NDA. I'm not saying that as a married couple, they can't have threesomes. I think that's up to them. However, what you do not want to do is be having to be high on these drugs, whatever, so they can then accuse you of coercing them to doing things that they don't want to do. And that is what they are saying now. Okay, that is what it is. It's not no one's crying that they took nothing from them. No one said that they, forced them to do things. They are saying after having them do drug stuff, other shit happened. I'm trying to watch my words based on YouTube or whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying? Either way it go, they were all adults, but they're saying that T.I. and Tiny were the ones kind of leading this line of take these drugs, get this coochie, this dick, and then leave. Okay. One girl brought up how they pay her like maybe $500. It's not looking too good for T.I. or Tiny. And I think the fact that it started with Sabrina saying, he put a gun to my head, I believe that, because again, when T.I. was T.I., okay, when he was the wild and crazy dude, whatever, we always felt like he had this aura about him that was controlling. And we've seen that over the years on the show. We've seen him, control Tiny to one extent or the other. She didn't even really have any real freedom until he was in prison. And that's when we got her in Toya, whatever show. But, what's that? Women said they felt coerced and some blacked out. Many said they were consensual, went there to have sex, woke up and didn't remember stuff. And that is what it is. I'm saying it was more about the drugs they took that made them black out, and then not knowing what fully happened. They need to move smarter. It's not okay to get someone drugged up and then have sex. And it's just messy. It's messy. And I feel like people have had it out for T.I. for a while because of his ego. And I'm not surprised they was having these sex parties. Okay, I'm not surprised at all. I can see that from them. They have both admitted on one part or the other being extra in bed or whatever. It's the whole thing about the drug stuff. But let's not forget that Tiny at one point was caught with drugs, and T.I. too. So we know for a fact they used to party together with drugs. We know that is like factual stuff. Okay, that had came out years ago. Again, this is stuff from when T.I. like first got out of prison, when they first had the show, the T.I. and Tiny show, like when he first came home, all that stuff, the gun stuff, all that stuff is around this time. If you even look at him and her, they look different because it was high back then. So I don't think for one moment that what they're saying is not true. I just think it may be more info to come out. And I feel bad for their kids because they got young kids, girl. These kids gonna be messy. But again, this is what happened when you are a parent and you do extra shit. All the stuff she had did with him, and look at what they both got busted for drugs. Absolutely. Okay. Tanya thought that would keep T.I. from cheating, but it didn't. No, it did not. He kept cheating. And they're also alleging that he was abusive to Tiny in these sexual escapades, this drunk out, high out stuff. They saw that too. It's a whole mess because no one thinks anyone is lying. Period. And I think it's not even the point of them doing things together. It's the women who are saying that I don't remember what happened, or he said like either take this pill or you can't leave. Like these things that happen, I'm looking like it's not good. It's not gonna be good. It's messy. Okay, it's messy. And I think that's all I want to talk about today because again, it's been about an hour. If you are going to do dirt, have them sign an NDA. If they do not have an NDA, don't do it. Because again, they can come out and say shit or whatever. Somebody bring Phaedra to the chat, not Phaedra. What is this? Money don't make you smart, and this shows you. Any of these women can say, I believe I was thought not to say it's true, but have the paperwork in order to break. Yeah, I would never have any sexual situation and not have someone sign an NDA because again, anybody can say whatever about you. Okay, you should always ask for some kind of proof that it's consensual. An NDA, so they can never come back and say, "Ooh, look what he did." And I think, and it was like one post from the Sabrina girl, and now all this has happened. Sabrina did sell drugs and slashed a girl up with a razor blade. I'm not sure how the public is trusting her. Her rep was worse than tips. I'll say this. Her rep can be worse than tip, but that doesn't mean that things could not have possibly happened to her. I don't think anyone is denying what she said happened. If I recall, they were saying that the reason T.I. put a gun on the girl was because she was fighting like his assistant. So no one is saying what she said wasn't true. However, the fact that Shekinah came on and said she's only upset because she used to fuck T.I. She used to fuck Tiny, and she used to also recruit girls for them to fuck. So again, it all could have been alleged. It all could have really, really, really been alleged. However, Shekinah kind of confirmed it. And I feel like that's why she took her live down. But everybody know when you go live, there's always someone recording because they want to see what you may say. I think when I'm on ear stitching, this is my hair on my ear. People try to take stuff down, but someone's recording at all times or whatever. So I feel like, Shekinah made it worse. Shekinah is the one who's going to make T.I. and or Tip have to speak with her, saying that anyone who they've been with, who have any kind of proof or any kind of story of fucking and sucking on T.I. and Tiny on pills or whatever, is going to come out. Sabrina could have been a liar, could have been a clout chaser until Shekinah said something about it. So Shekinah made it worse. That's what happened. I'm like, girl, see, she was fighting his assistant. She was not sitting in. See, that's the thing. No one is saying Sabrina's innocent. No one is saying that at all. Not at all. The thing is, she said what she said when Tiny came back and said that she was clout chasing. That's what made this thing start spiraling. Because then more people came out like, well, oh, T.I. and Tiny did this and that or this. And from there, she kind of then came out and said, well, she doesn't have because sometimes when someone is a clout chaser or they just want attention, you have to be quiet. Don't say shit. don't say nothing. But she kind of trying to defend T.I. and Tiny, kind of also shot them in the foot or whatever. So it is what it is. This is what's irritating. People can say whatever, and we're obligated to listen these days. Not even obligated to listen, but people love drama. And I think it's shocking if you like them as a couple or whatever, and you then find out they may not be not perfect or whatever, but you just don't want people drugging people. Like, that's just not what we want. That's why I was thinking, why put a gun on Sabrina when she's defending Tiny? She sounded like he cheated with the assistant. That's supposedly what happened. But anyway, it was team too much the whole time. And I'm pretty sure within the next couple of days, plus it's the weekend, so more shit may come out. I doubt T.I. will come out and say anything. Tiny probably will, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. And this is the last comment I'm going to post. She let the cat out the bag, trying to prove to me was lying. Yes, she did. And that's why I said, look, my friends know, just don't say shit. Just shut up. If I was just stop. You know what I'm saying? It's team too much all up and through. And today was a long day. Okay, so much happened today. But again, I wanted to chit chat with y'all real quick and whatnot about it. So I hope y'all had a good time. I will see y'all next time. Okay, as always, peace, love, and blessings. It's always great to chit chat with y'all. I hope y'all all had a good little chit chat on here. I thank you all for coming. Yep, silence is golden. It is. That means shut up. Okay. But again, good night. Be good. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And as I always say, do not send your coochie through text. Don't do it. Okay. Bad thing. Anyway, until next time, y'all, I gotta go. Peace. Gotta go. Bye.